Hey guys, I want to welcome you back to my channel, my methadone story update. So here we go. So the last you guys heard, everything was okay. I was tapering off of methadone. I was coming down 3 milligrams every 4 days. My last methadone dose was March 26th. So I thought. I was wrong. They were very wrong. March 26th, I was actually at um, 36 milligrams when I took my last methadone dose, and that really fucked me up. It fucked me up so bad that I didn't go into withdrawal until I think 72 hours after my last methadone dose. Once the 72-hour mark hit, I was hit. I felt it like you wouldn't believe. I was crawling the walls. I had these joint pains, like if somebody was sticking. I compare it to like somebody taking a stick and sticking it in between my joints and just rotating that stick. It was the most painful experience of my life. And it was worse than when I got stabbed when I was a teenager, which I'll save that story for another story time. The day that I got stabbed with a kitchen 6-inch chef's knife, actually. So look for that video also coming soon. It was just unbearable. I decided to literally crawl to my closet, get dressed. I didn't even brush my teeth or anything. I threw a coat on because I knew that it had been snowing that day, and I walked the 2 blocks, or 3 blocks, 3.5 blocks to the methadone clinic, only to find to my avail that the methadone clinic was closed due to the weather conditions. And they had given everybody take-home bottles, and they were going to open up 2 days later. So I wound up going back home. I was calling this girl who I knew had methadone pills. When I called the girl with the 5 milligram methadone pills, she did not have any, or she didn't have enough. So she told me she didn't have any because if you think about it, I was down to 36 milligrams, which was barely holding me. And that would mean she'd have to give up at least 7 pills. I needed 2 days worth, so that was like 14 pills, plus that day, at least. So add 7 more pills to the 14 pills. So that's like 21 pills that I needed in total. And so maybe she was just scared that she wouldn't have enough. So I was told that she didn't have any, so I called my dope dealer. When the dope dealer was like, I have, but I would have to make some phone calls to see if I can get to you. I was like, oh my God. So then I called my mother. Byproduct of my drug use, these muscle aches and pains that just won't go away. It's kind of like having fibromyalgia without the diagnosis of fibromyalgia. And I was in so much pain that when my mother got there, I was crying. I was climbing the walls. I was climbing my bed. The sheets were all over the place. My house was a mess. And then I was begging my mom to take me to the heroin dealer. I had put all my cards on the table. I didn't hide shit from her. My mother is a very church-going woman. She doesn't condone a lot of things, and she definitely does not condone drug use. But she was seeing that I was in so much pain. She was willing to drive me to the heroin dealer because I literally was like climbing the walls. So I'm calling and texting and calling and calling her that I have a ride. I can go meet her. Please, where is she at? Begging her, pleading. It seemed like 10 hours went by, but maybe it was like an hour. She was at the door. I get the heroin. I run upstairs and I shoot 5 bags. I bought 10 bags. I shoot 5 bags. I feel normal. a rush of calm over my body. You're not high, you're not passing out, you're not nodding out, you're just fucking normal. And I just felt so good to be fucking normal. I wanted to cry because it had come to this. I had been so clean for so long, and it came to me using again just so that I could feel normal. So I felt terrible. Um, and plus, I did it in front of my mom because I was just in so much pain and I just couldn't think straight anymore. And that was March 29th, I think. So let's fast forward. On April 3rd, I was scheduled, which was a Tuesday, to have my wisdom teeth removed. And so you could, I think I ran through the bags of dope that same day. Maybe it lasted to the next day. Um, my boyfriend didn't, I think he knew, but I didn't tell him that I had done heroin. And I was really mad at myself because my sobriety date was March 13th of 2017. And so it was like hitting a reset button that I didn't want to hit. I was just so angry at myself. I just felt like I failed myself, you know? So I'm really worried that because they're going to, put me under to take my wisdom teeth out, and I'm getting really worried that it's going to mix with the heroin and I'm going to have a heart attack or something at the maxillofacial surgeon. Well, they put me under. I don't tell anybody that I'm doing any of that stuff, and everything goes off without a hitch. It's beautiful, perfect. I wake up. Life is great. I have a prescription for 16 Percocet or 18 Percocet and some penicillin, some clindamycin. So what I do, because at this point I have not been to the methadone clinic, so there was a good chance that I was going to get kicked out. And I believe that I went and I got my prescription of Percocet and clindamycin and the oral rinse that they give you. I got that prescription filled, and I took my first Percocet, and it was a whole one. They were 5 milligram Percocets. They were the 5 325s. And then I had clindamycin and I had the oral rinse. So what I decided to do was I decided to break the Percocet, the 5 milligram Percocet in half, and I would take a half a Percocet. The directions were to take one Percocet every 8 hours. So what I did was I took half a Percocet every 8 hours, and I extended it like that. I was scheduled for a second surgery on April 24th, which has to do with a medical condition that I was diagnosed with in 2014. It's a form of cancer that is recurring, and it's like on the cellular level, which attacks the tissues in a certain area of my body. And I've had four surgical procedures since 2014, and every time I go in for a surgical procedure, they prescribe me the same thing. They prescribe me Percocet and they prescribe me Valium. And each is to work with each other, but to do independent things that I just won't go into right now. So I was given 20 a prescription after I went into the hospital. What I didn't tell you is when the Percocet ran out from the oral surgery, I had some Suboxone left over because I used to be in the Suboxone clinic back in 2016, and they kicked me out because I relapsed and I started using heroin again. And so I had like 40 or 50 or 60 strips. Realistically, I think I had like 30 strips of 8 milligram Suboxone. So I I took the 8 milligram Suboxone strips and I cut them in half to make them 4 milligram Suboxone strips. Because I said if cutting up a 5 milligram Percocet can hold me over, sometimes I would sniff them, to be honest with you. Sniffing them, for those of you who don't know, as opposed to taking it orally, it'll get into your bloodstream quicker and it'll work faster. So it's not like, oh, that's the drug addict in you know, crushing them and sniffing them. That's just a little trick. If you're going into withdrawal and you have a Percocet around, don't take it orally. Crush that bitch and sniff it like if it was cocaine, and it'll do you wonders in a matter of minutes as opposed to waiting 20, 30 minutes. I'm talking about 2 to 3 minutes. It'll hit your bloodstream. So anyway, I had taken about 3 or 4 Suboxone strips, 8 milligram strips. I cut them in half, so that makes them 4 milligrams. And I would hold them in my mouth for about 25 minutes under the tongue. Worked like a charm up until the day that I had surgery. On the 24th of April, I had my surgery, which was scheduled. And it went off without a hitch. Again, I didn't tell anybody that I was taking the Suboxone. I didn't tell anybody that I had relapsed with the heroin. And the relapse of the heroin was not so much by choice. And the only reason why I use the term it was not so much by choice is because if I would have had it my way, I would have had the methadone. If I would have been thinking straight, I would have taken the Suboxone. I just could not find it at the time because I was going ape shit and everything in my head was just so... You'd have to have ever been in withdrawal to know what I'm talking about, what I was going through mentally. I was just not thinking straight. So, between the time that I had used the heroin and right before the surgery, I had thrown away the last needle that I had in the house, which is what I used to do the heroin, to make sure that I'm very, very frugal or cheap. So to make sure, in an attempt to not do heroin again and to not relapse, just out of convenience, I threw that away because I knew I wasn't going to spend $3.20 for a new pack of needles. And so I had the surgery. The surgery went off without a hitch. I got out of the hospital with 28 Percocet and 40 Valiums, both 5 milligrams, and complications arose because of the surgery. I was bleeding so much that I have another appointment next week. We're already into May. My follow-up appointment was supposed to be in June, but they had to make it earlier because of the complications. So anyway, I was taking the 5 milligram Percocet, and I was finding that it was for the pain due to the surgery, not so much withdrawal symptoms. So what I did was I endured the pain for 72 hours. And I said, I'm not going to touch another Percocet or another Valium. And I want to see if this pain is from the surgery or if it's from withdrawal. And lo and behold, it was from the surgery, not withdrawal. So things were looking up. Things were looking good. And this is part of the reason why I say, you know, there are states like the state of Massachusetts, which is the state that I live in. There are doctors that don't believe in that. They won't do if you want to cross over from methadone to Suboxone, they won't do the Percocet regimen or the Subutex regimen, which we all know Subutex is for pregnant women. It doesn't have naloxone in it, or naloxol in it, and that's why they give it to pregnant women. Vivitrol, you have to qualify for Vivitrol. There's a lot of things that come into play. If you're currently using any other drugs aside from heroin, when the last time was that you used heroin? When was the last time that you used methadone? When was the last time that you used Suboxone? Your liver function test has to be done before you can be a candidate for Vivitrol. If your liver numbers are too high, like you're taking a lot of medications, that can cause them to be high. If you're drinking, that can cause them to be high. You will not qualify for Vivitrol. So just forewarning you. So I said, you know what? I'm not going to take the Percocets. I'm just going to shelf them. because I don't want to become addicted to that. Nature of my addiction, and that's another story time that I can tell you. I'm coming up with so many story times. I will tell you how it is that I actually came across heroin and how I came to use heroin. It is a very interesting love story, to say the least. So getting back to the update, I made an appointment with my doctor's office because my doctor is certified to prescribe Suboxone. And I found that when I was using the Suboxone, it didn't taste as bad as the first go round. So I was like, you know what? I think I should go back to Suboxone. I don't have to have the methadone cuffs, which means I don't have to stay in my fucking house. I can go away on the weekends. I can go away on the week. I'm not using any other drug. So I know that they'll give me, I won't have to do that twice a week bullshit with the Suboxone clinic or even the weekly thing. I can even do the monthly thing because that's how confident I am that I'm not using anything, right? So I made an appointment to go see my doctor, and I was thinking to myself, well, should I do Suboxone? Because I think I could qualify for Vivitrol. I'm not using any illicit drugs. I would be a perfect candidate for Vivitrol. And so now we're retaking tests to see if I qualify for Vivitrol. If I don't qualify for Vivitrol, then I'm going to go back to Suboxone. But I tell you what, my boyfriend gets 12 milligram Suboxone. Every once in a while, I'll do a 12 milligram Suboxone. I'm talking about like once or twice a week. So what I am thinking is that I am going to have a little experiment and not do anything for 7 days. If for 7 days I am starting to feel normal, then I found the cure. I found what works, which is the regimen that a lot of doctors in other states, and I wish that I knew that I could point you in the right direction as to what states. I heard some physicians in Pennsylvania might be doing it. It is easier, much easier to wean somebody off of Percocet than it is to wean them off of methadone. Methadone is, you know what? When we had made the decision to go to the methadone clinic, it's because we were kicked out of the Suboxone clinic. And when I say we, I'm talking about my boyfriend and I. And my boyfriend kept telling me, shouldn't do methadone. We shouldn't do methadone. That shit will tear you up. It is the worst. There he is. He used to tell me, I'm telling you, Gabe, that shit is going to fuck us up. We shouldn't do methadone. I'm not going to do methadone. That is the worst. I heard not only does it lock you down to the place that you're at, and you can't go away on vacations or anything because you always have to take your methadone every day, but when you have a methadone withdrawal, you think a Suboxone withdrawal is crazy? You think a heroin withdrawal is crazy? Wait until you have a methadone withdrawal. Hey guys, okay, so I'm gonna end this video and I'm gonna tell you what's up. So, to give you an update, whoa, camera shook a lot, huh? So to give you guys an update as to where I'm at exactly, I feel good, I feel great. I am currently not on Suboxone, I am currently not on methadone. I am currently not on any opiate. I'm not on the Percocet for the painkillers due to my last surgery that I had on April 24th. And I feel okay. There are times where I can't sleep through the night. I was periodically taking half of one of my boyfriend's 12 milligram Suboxones. So I was taking 6 milligram Suboxones periodically. I found that it helped me sleep through the night without taking any comfort meds like gabapentin, clonidine, and all that crap. Because the name of my game is to be drug-free. Sorry that my camera is shaking like a motherfucker. But anyway, So to end this on a positive note, I want you guys to hang in there. Tell anybody, if you go to NA or AA, go ahead and write into me. Anyone who goes to AA or NA is more than welcome to come to my channel. And I just want you guys to know that you know, this is something serious, but it is not impossible to get over it. The cravings have stopped. I don't know if that's because of the Suboxone. I do personally think that Suboxone is a better drug than methadone for a lot of reasons. If you want me to make a video like methadone versus Suboxone, I will. I'm starting a new channel. It's gonna be like life hacks, tips and tricks and stuff like that. And you can, I really don't know what I'm gonna call it yet. I'm just starting to film the stuff. It's gonna be like 5-minute videos, 6-minute videos, so it's gonna be very quick videos. But this is a more serious type of vlog channel where I talk about like some of my personal life, or at least some of the details of our person, quote unquote, I hate air quotes, our typical like gay type of people. And I'm proud of that. And it's not that I'm not proud of being gay or bisexual or anything like that. It's just the fact that I don't like to fit into a stereotypical mold. But getting back to the topic at hand, I really feel good. I am not currently on an active prescription for Suboxone. I am currently not in a methadone program. I haven't been since March 26th. I am currently not taking Percocets. I am currently not taking Valiums. I am currently not taking any illicit drugs, not taking any prescription drugs that inhibit or hinder my way of thinking or my perception of reality or whatever. So I want to thank you for watching this video. Tell your friends about this series, especially if they're in NA or AA. I am very familiar with maintenance medications, both for alcoholics and for drug addicts. I just really have not delved into that subject because I haven't really heard any real responses on these videos. It's funny how when you try to be real and you try to like try to reach out to people who need help, maybe maybe we just don't think that there's enough channels like this. Maybe we think they're all like smiley, giggly, makeup-y type of channels, and I've been guilty of doing those things, but I'm here to tell you that I feel great. I look pretty decent, if not good, some would say, and it is possible. I'm not craving it. I even looked into Ibogaine, and that was like $4,000 or $5,000, and the place was willing to give me $1,000 scholarship and all this bullshit. But that's just thousands of dollars to take a trip, you know, to go on an acid trip basically. And who the fuck knows if it's gonna work or not. I just want to let you guys know that it is possible, and I am not craving any drugs whatsoever. And I have not done drugs since the time before my surgery, when I had to call the dealer and stuff like that because I was in so much pain. I'm not in any pain. I can sleep just fine every once in a while, and I'm talking about since the last time that I took a Percocet, which was probably like 4 days after my surgery, 4 days after April 24th. I have been sleeping okay, and we're already into May, and I don't crave it. I don't think about it. I can talk about it. I can see it on TV. I can watch it on YouTube. I can see somebody in front of me, which I have not been around anybody in front of me who has actually shot anything up or done any illicit drug, and I'm just fine. You know, you gotta want it. Like anything else, you gotta want it in life. And if you want it bad enough in life, believe you me, you're gonna do whatever it takes to cure yourself. So I want to really thank you guys from the bottom of my heart for watching this series. I am going to make more series. Like I said, I'm going to do a video on the time I got stabbed with a 6-inch kitchen knife when I was 15 years old. It's a really interesting story, and I was almost paralyzed because of it. And so I'll make a video on that, and I've got a couple of other videos, a couple of other story times in the making. So it's more like a story time channel, I guess, huh? Well, Who knows? Maybe I'll get enough subscribers and YouTube will actually put my fucking AdSense back active and I can actually make some change, literally change. But if not, then I guess you have to have like 1 billion subscribers or 1 million subscribers and then talk shit about the other YouTubers and be a prick and all like that to make a decent paycheck on here. But whatever, life goes on and I'm not bitter, even though I sound really bitter, right? Anyway, love you guys. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to hit that red subscribe button. I will maybe in my next video give you the name of my new channel. For all of you who do subscribe and actively watch my videos, I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart. It's because of people like you that I keep making these real type videos, and if I could just change one person's life, or if I can affect just one person's life in a positive way, then I've done my job, and I am very, very, very content with myself. So I love you guys. Like I said, don't forget to hit that red subscribe button. Don't forget to hit that bell button to receive post notifications every time I upload a new video. Thank you for watching, and all my social media shit will be on my main page. Bye.